Hey, what's going on? Today on the podcast, the most successful female grappler of all time, Gabi Garcia, joins us. She talks about performance-enhancing drugs in the sport, whether or not she's ever used them, and a potential match with Craig Jones that she wants to be open palm to the face, because she said she'll slap the shit out of him. Check it out. Just right out of the box, the Craig Jones match, is that something that you think is still going to happen, or is that ship sailed?
No, yeah, it happens. And I don't know why people like so like why not? I all my life I train with guys, and I have 2 girls in the room, and it's for me it's a one more training. I can come here and say like I go make him tap, but I go make like give a hard time for him. But
Have
it's
you
bigger than we think.
have you guys discussed
Yeah.
any potential dates for the match?
Yes. Last year, like this year, of course, we received a lot of proposals, and but with the COVID, is everything super hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I hope this happens in Asia because they offered for me there before, and if like one day I need like compete against one guy, um, I hope like being Asia.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I like so you retired from IBJJF competition. We talked about this a few minutes ago, but we had audio issues. If you can just kind of give me a brief recap, are you just not going to compete anymore in Jiu Jitsu or Nogi, or just IBJJF competitions?
Only EBJ for be real, like only EBJJF awards, um, or gi for be real like gi. Um, I compete this year because like they closed the borders in Asia, and last minute I passed for like the hardest year in my life, personal, and this is making me happy compete. I love compete. I love compete BJJF, and last minute, uh, last day I put my name there, and I'm happy to compete for show like the show people, like after 6 years, um, I back there, um, I kill my fears, and I compete like for 17 years in high level, but I don't train for be a champion, but it's different like feeling for me competing with JJF, and I'm in there for like I remember like 17 years ago when I entered like there, and people like hate me, and today I can walk in the stadium, and I waiting for the moment when people like stand up and clap like for me, and like you know start people crying and hug me a lot, like thank you for everything, Gabby, what you did for the girls, and for me it's important like compete there and final, like uh, not final but this cycle, um with like gi, because I love gi, and I understand like uh I can compete like in high level for all my life. The new generation is like crazy right now.
Yeah, like the competitors just like jiu-jitsu just keeps getting more intricate, and the people that are competing just get more and more technical year after year. Do you prefer the gi or no gi?
It's it's hard, the answer this, because I'm 4 times DCC champion and 9 times world champion with gi. And before I always answer like I like more no gi because the girls can hold me, but with gi is different. I love both. I have my passion for gi, and with no gi is more brutal. The training is different. I love the way to be a champion like gi, and it's important because I lost my brother 4 days before the ATC. it's different feelings, but I love both.
I mean, you and oh my God, Marcelo Garcia are the only people to win ADCC 4 times. Do you think that you would have both had that success if you were training somewhere else, or do you feel like that's because both of you trained at Alliance under Fabio Gurgel? Do you feel like that's a direct reflection of training with Fabio Gurgel?
You know what's funny right now, because I meet a lot of people, girls and guys in the world, and I prepare right now. Like I'm prepare for like HCC, and in my mind, like, come on, shut up, liar. Um, HCC is hard, you know. The training is like 6 hours, don't stop it. Uh, it hurts a lot. Um, or you go there like you enter like for compete HCC with like overtraining, or you heard before and you can start it right now your training. But my first HCC, I trained with Marcelo Garcia and Fabio Gurgel in New York. Is when it happened, like when my brother died, and my first HCC. And I trained with Marcelo 2 times. Finland, I trained with Gurgel, but I decided like last minute when Guy in Evans, he's like working for HCC. He's like, Gabi, we need you here in Finland. And I call one friend for like he drew with me just only one day, and I'm like champion, like HCC champion. And 2019, I trained here at Lay with Cobrinha, like 6 hours, no stop it. And I'm overconfident, but it's it's different, like the mentality, you know, like for HCC. And I think I learned a lot with Marcelo. Everything what um, I know about like no gi, it's with Marcelo. Um, and it's a simple jiu-jitsu, but it's for me he's the best one in the history of no gi. You know, like far away. Um, we have like Gordon Ryan, other guys like, but Marcelo is like for him like gi and no gi is the same. And the confidence with Fabio Gurgel pass for us is like crazy. It's um I miss a lot, like, you know, having him in my side all the time. But he told me like after the words, Gabi, don't mess up. We have one last dance, you know, 2022. But Fabio is I hope one day, like, you know, all the athletes have a chance to have one coach, one master like Fabio. He's like give me all the confidence I have today.
What did Marcelo Garcia teach you nogi that you felt was the most valuable?
I remember when I asked him for he trained me for ATC, and I'm the only one staying in his house, you know, in New York. Um, and I it's my first tournament, and I remember like the rules. Like I just asked him about the rules, and he's like, Gabby, doesn't matter the rules. You need to enter in the fight for submit your opponent, but have like different rules, like not like about the book, you know, we went to the book here, but heel hooks, leg locks, and I learned more the defense with him than the attack. And the basics jiu-jitsu, not the basic, of course you don't have basics jiu-jitsu, but different than today. And I remember different than Cobrinha, we have 6 hours training, conditional training, and other style. Um, and with Marcelo is like two sessions a day, and super hard training. Like it's crazy. He making me like feel a shit all the time.
Yeah, I've always thought Marcelo Garcia was the best ever. And then you've got this guy who's so young and he's just submitting everyone, Gordon Ryan. If you put Marcelo Garcia in his prime, let's call it like 2008, against Gordon Ryan today, how do you think that match plays out?
You know, it's a good question, and it's a hard question too because the the generation is different. But I think Marcelo is like I train Gordon too. He's my friend. Um, for me, like he's a far away the best grappler in the world right now. But Marcelo, he's good on top. His guard is good. His defense is like, and he's so calm, and it's different. Like, and I think if they different size, of course, but if they compete, I think like Marcelo. It's my opinion, not because he's alliance, but because I training with him, and I watching like so many like guys enter there like before HCC and ready for competing HCC and tap for Marcelo like 5 6 times. And Marcelo is not like in the camp for HCC. He's like crazy.
I wish ADCC did like how the worlds do like the masters and the senior. I wish the ADCC had something like that because I really miss guys like Laborio and even some of the older Hadra Gracie or
Oh my God,
Hadra, I'd love to see these guys compete again. Do you think that we'll ever see Marcelo Garcia come out of retirement? I know he made a comment about his kids never got to see him compete or something of that nature. Do you think he would ever do a super fight or come out of retirement to take one of these young, hungry up and comers on?
um, I think yes. If the offer is good, Marcelo have like his school, his life like different right now than before. I don't know if he accept like compete against new generation, like one like this new guys right now, but like same age or I think he accept because he like it. He like compete. I never see like Marcelo say I'm I'm retired for like the competition, but I this is one thing like I pray for happens, because it's beautiful. Like you watching Marcelo compete.
Yeah, it's funny. I've had one opportunity to roll with Marcelo Garcia, and when he was training at ATT for his fights, and I was talking to my good friend Dean Thomas at the time, and I was like, so what's it like rolling with Marcelo? Like I was a fanboy. I loved Marcelo. I'm a Henzo black belt, but I've loved Marcelo for years, and I just think
Oh,
he's great. So Dean Thomas said something really funny. He's like, man, that he points to this old lady. He goes, that old lady would last longer with you than you could last with Marcelo. And I was like, what? And then when I rolled with Marcelo, like I've never rolled with a black belt. There's been maybe 2 or 3 guys I've ever rolled with that I couldn't do anything with. I couldn't move them at all. I couldn't create a scramble. It was like Carl Parisian, Randy Couture were really the only
oh my
two.
God. Oh
And
my.
yeah, I mean, well, that's Randy's a beast. But like Marcelo Garcia, I'm like, you can't do shit. Like he could just do anything he wants. He's so good. What did you think the biggest difference was? Because you've been able to roll with Marcelo Garcia and Gordon Ryan. What were those rolling sessions like in terms of what made them different or what made them spectacular individually?
I train like all the legends in the world. Like I don't remember like um anyone like I need like training one day and I never trained before. It's different styles, Marcelo, he's like he's short, have like strong legs. Um, and when I train Marcelo, it's like he play with me. It's like I'm in one toy, like when you play with the toy, and he 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 um he just attack and he just move. He make you make a mistake. You understand?
Sure.
Um,
And this is mostly
and
no gi, right? You train with Marcelo?
no gi and gi.
Both?
And this is crazy because for him, if you asking him right now, like what's the difference? He's like nothing. And he played the same game like gi and no gi. Um, but he's like the pressure. He have one pressure like crazy, and I have one video like in the YouTube too, like or for training. He like sweep him like one banana, like like it's a shit. And I'm like, I can't believe. And he has short legs and um, the pressure on top, his guard is he make you make a mistake. And Gordon, Gordon is a very technical guy. The first time when I trained him, um, it's a specific training, and I'm like, it's not like that, But after when I train, like I roll with him, I'm like, oh my god, this guy know a lot of jiu-jitsu, and he teach me a lot too. Um, I remember like the first time I asked him about like one leg lock, and I'm like, Gordon, why like never worked? He looking for me like serious because you're doing wrong. And I'm okay, okay. Let's let's for the next question, But and it's crazy because I I learned like all my life to escape for one side, and his movement is like for the other side, and not wrong or right, but I never like escape for like one example back attack for the side he escaped,
Hmm.
and he's like he's good. Um, I'm a Brazilian, and like all the Brazilians is hard. Like they say like Gordon is the best, but he's good. He's he's like different than other guys, and his confidence when he go compete, like I go submit you like in the mount position, and he submit you in the mount position. It's crazy. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, he's got that super fight coming up in the next ADCC with oh my gosh, why can't I think of his
André
name? Andre
Galvão.
Galvão, yeah, with Galvão. How do you think that fight goes? I mean, Galvão's he's super strong, very aggressive, and Gordon can be a little more passive and tentative. Do you think that Gordon's going to catch Galvão, or do you think that Galvão's got to be able to pull out some tricks to beat Gordon?
It's funny because this new generation, new generation, what I say, like my students too, I have in my school, and they watching Gordon and all these guys right now. But I know André Galvão, uh, and he training a lot. When he's in camp for ATC, like everybody know nobody training more than him, and his wrestling is good. He have a good base, and he have the experience. Um, I think this is very important. Um, it's a big good fight, and today, like I don't have my opinion, but it's like the difference between like the new generation, the cardio, the strength against like the strength, the experience, and if today like I need like put my money, and I put my money in Andre
You put
today. I don't know.
you put it on Andre, really?
Yeah, Andre.
You probably could make some money if that happens, because I think he's going to be a huge underdog for that bout, just considering how dominant Gordon has been. What did you think of that?
Yeah,
Gordon, you saw the video where Gordon slapped Galvão? Everybody saw
I'm
that
there.
video. You were there. What did you?
I'm there. Like
So what was that like? What did you think that was handled appropriately? Do you think that's going to be an issue for the match? That's going to be turned into into an MMA match when they're fighting?
um, it's it's important. Like we sell the fight. Like the promote the fight. I know Gordon. He's a super nice guy. Um, and he's like different, like in front of the cameras. Then like what people see like in the social media. Like yesterday, I talked with him. Um, he's like worried about like if I'm okay. Um, and people like think Andre is an underdog for this match, but I don't. I'm not. I don't think the same because why Andre compete after six, ATC titles? Why he don't have nothing to prove? Um, it's the same with me. Um, the girls like Gabby lost the last match, but ATC is different. ATC is different, and I think it's be a very good match. Uh, the only thing I worry about is like Gordon compete like in two divisions. Uh, and I don't know if he come like tired or not for like the super match, but it's for me like Andre is not underdog for this match. Underdog for who don't understand about like the competition, but who understand about ATC like I compete like 5 ATCs before, and Andre is never underdog.
Right. Yeah. No, he's been super dominant. When you trained with Gordon, did you train with him at all in the gi? Because I know for a little while he had talked about putting a gi on, and then I think he's pretty much abandoned that now.
uh, no, I don't. I just train with him with no gi, and I I train with him like a few times, like here in California, in Hanzo, like in New York. But he know a lot of jiu-jitsu and have like so many techniques. You just know this techniques, and you know the escape, or if like works if you train with gi.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like he changed the scenario for like no gi, and I'm pretty sure he's good with like gi, not like he like no gi. It's different sport. Uh, like it's 100% different like no gi than gi, and I respect him for don't training or don't compete with gi because he don't need to prove nothing to anyone.
Sure.
Uh, it's like other sport is the same like um, one example, you play soccer and you need like go in the Olympics and play like volleyball. It's
Yeah.
different sports. Like,
Do you think it's
um,
do you think it's harder to transition from no gi into the gi and be successful, or than it is to go from a high level gi to no gi? Which do you think is more of a challenge?
um, I never. This is a good question because I always train both. And if you train no gi only, it's be hard like for you training gi. Um, it's hard, but if you only training gi and you go for no gi, it's be easy because no gi is not like the most technical guy. It's more than this.
Yeah.
Uh, is
Good.
a cardio is trained and is different, but I always train both. And when I train for ATC, I always have like training with gi because one example, um, the scramble is a lot when in no gi and you sweat a lot. And you enter one triangle, if you don't have the if you don't know what the like, it's so easy for you escape the one triangle with no gi because you sweat and um, and everything. But with gi, no, with gi you have like the control, and I think this is important for no gi. If you train no gi, you put like gi 1 day a week. It's important for you. You feel like the pressure, the grip, is important for like you be like, exactly like the submission like be like 100% like works than no gi.
When before you got into jiu-jitsu, you were into bodybuilding, right?
No, no, no. I trained jiu-jitsu for 32 years. Um, I play other sports, but it's I lost a lot of weight. I lose a lot of weight because I'm fat before and I don't deserve to be a champion. And I change everything in my career, like my training, my food, um, for like competing at high level. And after this, I start like no, this is like a long time ago, and I started training CrossFit like 17 years ago, and I'm big, I'm stronger than other girls, but I people think like I love like all the muscles I have, but it's hard. Like right now, I don't training. I like wait for more than 8 months, and I keep like all my body, with like strong. It's hard. I lost my muscles, but it's all my life I've been doing this. But I'm never competing. I don't have blood for this.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously you're in super amazing shape. In the sport of jujitsu, like in Brazil and even MMA, like there have been a tremendous amount of people using performance enhancement drugs, and because you're so strong, people have always said, "Oh, I wonder if Gabby is using drugs. If you wonder if she's using test. I wonder if she's using anything." Have you ever, just to put the record out there, have you ever used anything performance enhancing?
Yes, yes. I use it. There's like I have one reality show about my life right now, uh, and have one book about my life. And when I'm a brown belt, I use it. Like not like for be real, I don't know what I use. Like like when like one friend offer for you, and this make you more strong.
Just a
And
someone just offered you some, like, hey, like, because that's
yeah,
not
it's
crazy in the jiu-jitsu community. A lot of people at the high level,
every
especially because they weren't
no
testing, a lot of people were using juice.
everybody use for be real. But one example, the awards right now, they test us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and people don't know, but I test for a lot of tests. And I don't lie for anyone. All my titles, like in the black belt, I don't use nothing like for my performance, um, because my doctor, like I'm bigger than other girls. Like right now, I'm 36, and imagine if like all these years, like 17 years on top of the sport, I keep using steroids. Like I'm dying. I'm not like here today, but I understand. Like my sister is big, my family. I come like for Germany and Italian. Um, and I play sports all my life, and people always joke like about my diet, but I like being diet because I'm fat before.
What's
And
your
when I'm in diet,
what's your diet like? What do you typically adhere to?
um, right now, I'm not health because I have like so many projects in my life, and it's crazy. I don't have time to eat, and a lot of opportunities in my life right now, but it's always the same. Like um, no fruits, chicken, meat, rice, potatoes, and vegetables. Is always the same. Always the same. Just the my doctor changed like the how many like 50 grams, like 100 grams, depend like eggs. Is the same. Always the same. And I like it for for be real. I like it when I have like this routine. Um, because I stay more in focus. But right now, like one example, before 5 years ago, I I I never like enjoy my life. My mom told the other day like, um, I live in my life for the sport, and I never enjoy my life. Today, like Friday, I drink my champagne. I drink one wine. You know, I eat like one pizza, but before no, before like I never like eat sugar. I don't eat sugar for like 6 years, I think. But right now I'm more like flexible because I'm old. But I
You're
try.
not old. You're
One example.
36. I'm 41. That makes me feel like I'm a grandfather if you say you're old.
No, but it's like 36, but like
For like,
32 years in the sport.
yeah, sure.
It's like um, I need to keep the diet. I need to keep right now. Like my doctor always like, uh, one example, water. I for years I just like believe in water is life and everything. And right now I don't drink water because I don't have time, and I have three business, and I don't have time for nothing, and I'm not health.
Mm.
But when I have like I one example, I can. It's my mind. Uh, I can eat like junk food. One example, I don't eat junk food. I don't eat like nothing bad, and I go training. Uh, if I like one example, one slice like small like piece of chocolate, I it's all day eating. Like it's a fat mind, but I always keep my diet for like my performance. The training be like good.
Do you think that that you're getting out of the sport just as because for a long time there was no money to be made in grappling. Nobody was really making $1 million grappling, right? It's only in the last few years with like the BJJ Fanatics videos and all these organizations that are paying more. Do you feel like you're getting out of jiu-jitsu at a time when it's just starting to become lucrative?
No, um, I make a lot of money with jiu-jitsu for be real. Um, it's I have a good life. I have my house here. I have my school. I have like two more business, and jiu-jitsu opened the doors for me for other things. Um, I remember my first super match, and when my manager offered like for the show, like they 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 give me the contract, and my manager no, this is like impossible. She don't go out home like for this, and they told my manager like we never pay this for any guy or whatever. She don't go or give us the pay-per-view. And I remember like when they come back and okay, we go give one chance for her, and it's 100% she sell like a lot like she give us like the she give us the back like what we offer for her. And my manager okay, just give us the pay-per-view. I remember like they pay me, I enter, I compete. When I step out for the match, they offer for me my second super fight, and this is the highest payment in the history. um, and after like today, for I go like for example seminar or any super fight, they need to pay me good, um, because I know I sell a lot. People hate me or people love me, but they still like pay for
Yeah, they want
watching my,
to.
my,
Yeah,
my
exactly. Doesn't matter if they love you or hate you, as long as they're tuning in to
no.
watch your matches.
And it's crazy because this last words, um I stop it and I looking for the area and all the media there, and I'm like, no, I have one day like I go compete and for fun, like, but the pressure always in my shoulders, and I like this, and I like, and what people don't understand, everything what's happening right now with boxing or other sports is entertainment. And I started this like 2016 Japan. I started making money there like 2016, and people talking shit about like this fight is still like talking shit about the fight, but you guys don't imagine how many million views, like is in the TV like in Japan. Um, and right now like it's the same shit like what I started doing before, it's entertainment and it's what people need to see.
Speaking of
And
speaking of entertainment, I mean, you're a world class athlete. Yeah, in Japan is huge on their pro wrestling scene, and girls like Ronda Rousey have left and gone to like wrestle. Have you ever thought about doing something that was still competitive in the entertainment space, like potentially doing like professional wrestling, or does that not appeal to you?
they offer for my first offer for WWE is like 2010. Um, and after this, like we start like my manager like I love fighting Japan, and they're like it's a show, it's more like entertainment. Um, but here I respect a lot Ronda Rousey and everything what she did for the sport. But when I'm like almost like inside WWE, she's like, I don't want like any like Chris Cyborg friend uh, in the show, and in my mind like, okay, I don't want this, and right now is not the timing. But this opened the doors for me like for movie and like my book, for my reality show and other things.
Tell me,
But Japan is still like entertainment.
what's the book you have coming out?
uh, they all like they come with the proposal for me like when I live in Brazil like 7, 8 years ago.
It's a
And I
biography,
think
or
yes. um and I think it's not the timing, and they come back and offer for me like this year. And in my mind I have so many things for finish. But if you look at my life, like my brother died, I passed for bullying all my life. I'm the more medalists in the world. I'm Hall of Fame. I building like all my empire. um and I have all the media in my like I have my own media. I have my own brand, and I suffer a lot, like so many things, and people don't know. And I think like right now is like time to people understand who is Gabi Garcia. But before this, we have the reality show, and I open all my life there too.
what's one thing that if you could put all your fans in a room and tell them about you that you wish they had all knew?
Um, how much like like people judge me, and I suffer, and I can't defend myself, and how like bad the world is, and no one like go save you. And I'm proud of my career. I'm proud like for never give up. um for if like people don't understand like how hard it is, like my this last years too, when my brother died and I compete, when people like point the fingers like 17 years like, ah, she used drugs or this, they never looking for me. And this girl deserve, she training a lot. But right now I changed the scene. um it's it's priceless, like the all the methods I received from my idols. um Gabby, thank you for everything what you did for the sport. And I don't need anyone understand or like people know like about like what's happened with me, because I never choose be the poor girl. If I need like choose like be the poor girl or the asshole, I choose be the asshole. But it's my life, life is not easy. uh and I'm like fucking boss bitch, I think.
That's gonna be like the whole clip we use. Just you saying I'm a fucking boss bitch. That's gonna be the whole episode. That's great. When's the book
It's
coming out?
true. uh we don't like it's take a lot of time, and I don't have this time right now. I have my school. We open other one. I have the reality show, uh, and I need like working more my English for open this door for like movies for me. And I think like this year, like this year will be like a great year for me. Like I have like so many projects, and I I don't feel comfortable yet for the book, but I need to start, but in my life, I'm not 36. I'm like 20. I have so many things for finish, but I it's crazy. Like when I looking for the girls and have tattoos, they crying, uh, they start like freaking out when like enter like my school, like, hi Gabby, you here? Like, of course, my school,
Right.
or
That's not always
and
the
it's
case.
crazy.
Sometimes you sign up somewhere and like the guy is never there to teach. He's just a name. So it's probably really awesome that they see you get to
This
compete because a lot of the girls come into jiu-jitsu. You're a big reason why they're training and doing jiu-jitsu.
it's this is I think this is my biggest gold medal, changing people's life. Uh, and you guys can imagine how many messages I receive every day, or like you changed my life, and I have like fans with like tattoo my name, and they entered there like and started like crying, and I'm calm down. Why are you crying? You changed my life, Gabby. And it's not because the medal. It's because they're looking for me like different than other girls, and she made it. She's the champion. She don't give up. Um, and people don't understand why they throw the stones on me, and I I always stand up and don't give up. And I think that this what make him like the idol, Gabby idol, not like my medals. This shit like no go with me. Like the medals, when I'm die, don't go with me. But all those lives I change, you know, um, when like they hug me and they start like freaking out, or it's priceless. It's
Yeah, it makes you
or
feel
like when yeah.
good when people acknowledge that. But well, I appreciate you coming on and talking to us about everything. I wish you all the success in the world with the movie career, the schools, the books, and all the different things you had going on. And I hope that there's a date set so that you and Craig Jones can get on the mat. Maybe you guys got to do the combat jujitsu where you get to slap him a little bit. That could be
I love it.
warranted.
For be real, I love it.
We got to talk Craig into doing
I
that. Do a combat jujitsu
like
match.
there's like imagine I slap this bitch in the face. It's I think it's I agree. Like he start like with the rules, and man, put all the rules you want. Um, let's go. Like what's like I lost one match for you, but this is not like be easy for him. But like with like combat sports, I accept. I don't know if he go accept, but
He's got a lot to
uh,
lose. Like, I don't think could you imagine if you
man,
if you knocked him out with like an open palm strike from guard? Like his career would be
easy.
over. That'd be the
No,
worst
it's
thing in the
like
world for that guy. It'd be
no.
horrible.
I told him like Craig, and people like joke with me in the internet because like my English, Craig. But uh, imagine if lost this match. If I lost the match, okay, I keep like he in my school. But this motherfucker have only no gi, you know. And if he lost the match for me, what he doing? Retirement, man. Like he lost for the girl, you know. And if like imagine I slap him in the face, like it's be like final career.
That's
It,
great.
but like if you look inside the gym, uh, the guys like I treat Bernardo Faria, Leo Nogueira, like so many guys like you know like superstars, and they never like easy with me. And you think like I scare like compete against Craig Jones? Come on, man. It's like respect my history, you know. Like
Yeah, for
I
sure.
know
Ooh,
I'm not like coming here and say like I make he tap. He's a guy, you know. He's like, but I don't have my two ligaments in the knee and the leg lock. I don't go tap. Uh, and he don't know what like other game like. But if I stay on top, the pressure is insane, and I go smash his face 100%.
that's great. Well, thank you so much for taking time to come on today and chat with us. I appreciate it, Gabby.